Imagine Steins Gate,
I am math scientist.
but if Kurisu was the main character.
無論だ
That's basically the movie. So then why is the movie not considered canon? Wait, does the movie suck? Oh no, let's back up. Are the Steins Gate sequels good, or even necessary? Now, my official stance as the king of weeaboos and the world's greatest Steins Gate fan is that Steins Gate is basically a perfect story. It starts and ends exactly when it needs to, and it ties up every loose end and needs nothing else. But, as the epilogue episode taught me, and we'll talk about this after because I really like it, sometimes there's even room to improve on perfection. The movie doesn't really do that, and the official sequel novella, which is a Christmas special? Really? That can't be right. Well, this is gonna be a fun video. So, the movie. Imagine Kimi no Na but Steins Gate, and also a little bit shitty. You might be like, that doesn't sound too bad. And, no, you're right. Hold on a minute. Okay, I think I've got it. Imagine Kimi no Na but Steins Gate, and also a lot bit shitty. Yeah, that sounds better. I mean, I like it as a hardcore fan of Steins Gate. I'm not totally sure why. The core premise and story is pretty damn cool if I'm being honest. But if I said this was, how you say, coherent, I'd maybe be lying a little bit. I mean a lot bit. It's not great. Okay, so basically the plot is, and see if you can spot what's wrong with this, 1 year after the events of Steins Gate, Kurisu comes to Japan, eager to continue this relationship a little more, but after not too long, Okabe starts disappearing. And we learn that he's become somewhat caught between realities, between the Steins Gate world line and something called the R world line, a world line almost identical to Steins Gate, only he doesn't exist. And eventually, he just disappears from the Steins Gate world line completely. And as he fluctuates between world lines, everyone's memories of Okabe, including Kurisu's, start to disappear. This is the Kimi no Na thing, and she has to find a way to restore him. And see, the thing is, wow, there's actually just so many problems with this. I'll get to why I actually kind of like it later, but first, I really can't ignore this. The first problem here is that, the existence of this world line doesn't make any sense at all. Since Okabe is the center of the lab, it wouldn't exist without him. That's okay, says the movie, because there's something wrong with this world line. It's as if he's supposed to be there, but isn't. Mayuri keeps buying Dr. Pepper, the lab member 001's spot is left open. The world line is filled with these contradictions that gnaw at Kurisu, telling her that this reality isn't how things are supposed to be, that there's someone she doesn't want to forget, someone she can't forget. Sorry, starting to quote Kimi no Na again. And she has to search her memories and her heart to find the truth. But other world lines aren't magic, they're other possibilities. So him not existing like this just does not fit in with how Steins Gate works, like, at all. Since there's no actual reality where this would have happened, it couldn't have happened without magic, so basically it's magic. So that's a thing. Basically, Okabe is a level 6 time wizard and he's accidentally cast dislocation in time on himself, or something, I guess. I don't know. I mean, John Titor was kind of the worst, but Steins Gate at least ignored all the shitty parts of his writing. The next problem with this is the way he keeps fluctuating between world lines. Apparently, his memories of other world lines are so strong that they tear at his mind and he can't stay put on the Steins Gate world line, and eventually disappears to this identical world line where he doesn't exist. First, again, world lines aren't magic. Memories themselves aren't the cause of world line divergence. That doesn't make any sense. I mean, the point of this movie is that memories from other world lines are what deja vu is, so they're just memories. They don't have any effect. I mean, this isn't a bad plot by itself. It is basically Kimi no Na, aka my favorite movie of all time, but the mechanics are just so unconvincing that it's kind of hard to really get into it. But also, wait, hold up. Did this come from something? Because this basically is Kimi no Na. There's no way Shinkai Makoto went and copied the Steins Gate movie, so this must have come from something, right? Does anyone know? Okay, I looked it up and I found apparently he took inspiration from this story called Torikaebaya Monogatari about these people that do sex changes and stuff, and from Ono no Komachi, a poet writing about seeing a man in her dreams, and you know what? This is probably just a coincidence. So the last major problem is the way they fix it is by literally inceptioning Okabe into thinking that the Steins Gate world line is real. And she creates an impression on him so strong that he's convinced that the Steins Gate world line is the true world line. But our world line is supposed to be basically identical, so I'm not sure how she would do that. Presumably to make his connection to her stronger, but she's not the one disappearing. He is. If he's fading in and out, and the only difference is that he doesn't exist in one, wouldn't he just want to stay on the one where he does exist? What the fuck does this look like for Okabe? This is backwards. Oh, and she does this by, get this, she kisses him. Okay, sure, yes, adult Kurisu goes back in time and kisses 13-year-old Okabe. That's fucking weird, man. And this inceptions him into having a stable memory. So, basically, childhood trauma from, legally speaking, assault is how everything gets resolved. This might actually be the single dumbest sequence of events they could have possibly come up with. It's not a surprise that this isn't considered canon, because for as many problems as Steins Gate Zero has, it's at least mostly coherent. Goddamn. Also, hey, remember that bit about Mayuri being his first kiss? I guess that's no longer a thing. Whoops. Their childhood innocence is now replaced by a time-traveling, morally and legally questionable woman from the future. That's holy shit, dog. But okay, supposing you ignore all these glaringly large problems with the plot, how does it hold up? And I'm honestly not really sure how I feel about this, but I actually do kind of like it. It shows us Steins Gate from the side of Kurisu, her battling for Okabe. But it's not just her doing the same thing as him. Kind of the opposite, really. It isn't her battling against a universe where no one can remember. It's her battling against a universe where no one does remember because he doesn't exist. Not because the universe isn't fair, but because there's something fundamentally wrong with the universe itself. It isn't just a reality that Kurisu doesn't like, it's one she can't accept as being true. And not just the universe, but everything, including Okabe himself, is telling her to forget him, to just let him go. Because time isn't a toy, it isn't something so low as a child's plaything. Time is the domain of God, and who is she to overrule the fabric of the universe for her selfish love? But she can't let go because she loves him. She can't accept a universe where he doesn't exist, and no matter how much she wants to just accept his words, she knows this isn't right, and she can't give up. She can't give up on her love, on her truth. And it shows us her struggle to act, to build the time leap machine again and again. And it's not that she doesn't know what's right, it's that she doesn't know what's real. So it takes a lot of the emotion from the original Steins Gate and presents us with a story with the same tone, but from the opposite side, from Kurisu, who was canonically my waifu, and so it's like Steins Gate, but new and refreshing, and really is an evolution of the original. So it's really, really good? Well, no, it's not. Not exactly. See, for as much as the core plot manages to evolve the story of Steins Gate, a lot of the shit happening just fucking buries its head up the asshole of the original. Literally, the first 10 fucking minutes of the film is just speedrunning all of the memeable fanservice moments from the original. And by all of them, I do actually mean almost all of them. Well, first, it opens with this really cerebral speech, similar in tone to Okabe's opening speech, but again, different enough in content and style that it's interesting. But then, right after that, it just takes a massive, girthy, self-satisfying fap right in your face. Because then it cuts to Alpaca Man, you know, the opening from the anime, and does literally exactly that in, almost exactly the same fucking words. Yeah, I know, right? Then it moves on to Dr. Pepper. Then he poses as Ho and Kyoma, and I'm pretty sure they even just recycled the same animation from the anime. Then it cuts to Daru playing eroge and being a weirdo. Then another useless invention. Then being yelled at by Mr. Braun. Then it skips right to the ending of the anime and does that. And then Mayuri doing Stardust Handshake. And then the Dago Togoda thing, except it's Kurisu doing it. I'm not sure whether to give this one points or not. And then Rukako goes El Psy Kongari. I shit you not, this goes on for a full fucking 10 minutes. It has to be the single most masturbatory sequence of events I've ever seen in any piece of fiction, ever. So, It's kind of good, but not really because it's completely incoherent and quite masturbatory in the sense that only diehard fans of the anime would like it. Now you're getting the picture. And see, one thing it does really, really right is the fan service. Unlike, say, Steins Gate Zero, who replaces Kurisu with a lolly, ick. This bitch shows us a shot of her in the shower. The anime didn't do the scene in the visual novel justice at all, so this is just like, am I right? And then it gives us a nice fappy shot looking up her shirt, like, oh my god. I know I kind of joke pretty hard about Kurisu being my waifu sometimes, but also, I'm not even a little bit joking about this. This is exactly what I want to see, and it's exactly what you wanted to see. Don't lie to me, we all wanted to see this. Can I get a round of applause? Yeah, you better be fucking clapping. Don't lie to me, bro. I'll come for you. And while we're at it with the threats, do me a favor, step on the like button. One hand on your dick, one hand on the mouse. Yeah, so I'm a fan, and my penis is too, and you should be too, maybe, I don't know. It's honestly got way too many problems for me to take it seriously in like any real capacity. Like way too many. But I'm still kind of here for it, I don't know. But also remember, the story is literally Kurisu inceptions Okabe by kissing 13-year-old him. Like, what the actual fuck, dog? Did I mention that this overrules the whole thing about Mayuri being his first kiss? This innocent childhood that binds them together, and now we have something very illegal. You got half the childhood part right, I guess. Holy shit. But also, that upshirt shot though, oh man, I wanna hear those dicks applauding, bro. So before we move on to the official sequel, the Christmas story, lol, let's talk really quickly about the epilogue episode. In it, they all fly to LA for Ferris's Nine-It Battler tournament and meet up with Kurisu. And first, what I like about this is it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just having fun with the characters and builds on all the Mimi bits, especially this.
I am mad scientist. United States, chaos and invade.
Oh, I'm joke. I'm a smart citizen. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Oh man. See, where the movie fucks up by just repeating the same lines word for word, this is taking them to the next level. Sure, we know Okabe is insane, but seeing him get arrested by airport security, we're like, oh yeah, wonder how that's never happened before. That's a mystery. Actually, he does get arrested in the visual novel, but not for anything cool like airport terrorism. And then at the convention hall they go to, we get to see Kurisu in a cat-made outfit. Questionable how she ever ended up agreeing to this, but I'm here for it. We're all here for it. This is awesome, right? But don't get me wrong, it's not all goofs, because the point of this is to really bring Okabe and Kurisu's relationship together. The end of the anime has them reuniting as star-crossed lovers, bound together across time and space and the furthest reaches of the universe. And it ends there. And while this is obviously a perfect end to the story, I like this little glimpse into their future. This question of, okay, now what? And I don't think there's nearly enough here to create anything resembling a full story. Case in point, let's think back to how many problems the movie had. But a short epilogue is absolutely perfect for this, because they can't just live happily ever after. Okabe has to go back to school. Kurisu has to go back to her job in America. How do they deal with this? This Kurisu barely even knows him. She never experienced those 3 weeks with him. But she has these memories, these faint visions of being in love with a man she's never met. And so it takes a moment and has them sit down together and talk about Kurisu's memories of the other world lines, of this attraction to this man she doesn't know and doesn't understand. And it's so confusing, but she can't deny that there's something so special about him, even though he's kind of a lunatic. And so later, when Okabe runs off chasing someone who looks like Suzuha, Kurisu immediately follows him and they both get stranded in the desert. And standing here together in the middle of nowhere, they realize that they don't know what the future holds and that their lives aren't going to be perfect. But the one thing they cannot do is let this person go. And here we get our perfect, happy ending as they embrace with one more kiss as the sun sets and the day in this story comes to a close. I like this so much. It's fun, it's goofy, and this confession and this kiss just ties this perfect little bow around the whole story, acknowledging all the questions the anime left in and welcoming them with optimism. If you haven't seen it, do go watch it, because as far as epilogues go, this is about as perfect as it gets. So speaking of bows, how's that Christmas episode? It's the same idea as the epilogue episode, mostly a bunch of inconsequential shit that ties the ending together. And for some reason, it takes place on Christmas. Almost certainly because Christmas in Japan is a day for couples, but other than that, there's very little that's actually relevantly Christmassy about it. Welcome to Japan. If you thought Christmas was too commercialized in your country, wait till you see what they eat for dinner here. It's literally a tradition to eat Kentucky Fried Chicken on Christmas. This isn't a joke. I'm 100% serious. You're not convinced that I'm not joking. I don't blame you. So anyway, this story tries to evolve Okabe's character a little bit by presenting him as a little less chunibyo and a little more mature, but the entire reason for this story is just one long setup for this message from Kurisu at the end. It's supposed to be another bow to tie the series together, but I honestly don't know how much more I could actually say about it. It's basically just a short story of Okabe and the gang hanging out and being weird and stuff, only it involves Nae for some reason. Odd choice, not necessarily a bad one. There isn't too much room to expand on the other characters, so bringing in Nae helps keep it fresh. I think Nae is kind of the worst character, but at least there's room in the story for her here. But I don't know, as you can see from the epilogue episode, there is a little more room to expand on these characters. You just have to get a little goofy with them. And if I had to pick one sequel to be the best, it's unquestionably the epilogue episode. It's just more fun than the Christmas one. They go to America, Daru puts on a Hawaiian shirt, Kurisu dresses up in a maid outfit, Rukanko does more cosplay. It's just so goofy and lighthearted. It's everything you want to see. And then it really thinks about the consequences of the relationship, about what it means to have feelings that span across world lines and memories, and in Kurisu's case, about their relationship being so one-sided. It's really complicated, and this short story really does all of it justice. Whereas the Christmas episode, they go shopping and then play Street Fighter at an arcade. And then Kurisu is like, lol, we're so cool and perfect and stuff, heart, ors. Don't get me wrong, I like it. But the epilogue episode is more in tune with what's so special and so confusing about their relationship. And compared to it, this is just so pedestrian. So the only one without an official English release is the Christmas special, but luckily for all of you who can't read Japanese and don't live in Japan and can't just go ahead and buy shit like this, sucks to be you, it's been fan translated as Holy Day of Calamitous Birth. And the translation is, for the most part, excellent. But for me, I went and spent $5 on this because the ending is a handwritten letter from Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, I'm fucking upset. Okay, you see this tearaway right here? There's supposed to be a letter right here. This is where Kurisu's letter is supposed to be. The last person who owned this fucking kept it. That is such a weeaboo move, bro. I was gonna fucking do that. By the way, this book is awesome. It's like a Steins fan's wet dream. There's so much cool shit in here. I might just film a video flipping through it because I don't think it's ever been translated to English. And you gotta see this. Like, here's the map of Akihabara and everywhere the story takes place. And here's photos of all the real life locations depicted in the visual novel. And then there's just a shit ton of cool illustrations, and there's like swimsuit shots, and then, you know, there's Kurisu with the pit, and then Kurisu with potato chips. Is this a reference from Death Note? No, probably not. There's character profiles and interviews with all the actors, and then there is even an official worldline map, and next to it, all the characters in cosplay. So yeah, this is pretty sick. Understatement of the year. So anyway, now that we're done talking about the sequels, there are like a billion Steins Gate spin-offs that I could talk about. If you have a favorite, do let me know. And if you haven't seen it, do check out my hour-long video comparing every single version of Steins Gate and explaining why the anime is objectively the superior version. Anyway, thank you so much for your time, friends, and I will see you in the next video.